always to have who can help.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Magnaanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadama Yam Darati Swaparantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrijatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savarutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Panchakalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhupya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashattare Shatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, Haribol. Today we continue with chapter 2.5, The Supreme Artist. In February 1973, Srila Prabhupada was invited to speak at an art gallery in Auckland, New Zealand. There he invited his listeners to contemplate the works of the Supreme Artist, Lord Krishna. The rose is created out of the energies of the Supreme Lord, but these energies are so subtle and so artistic that a nice flower can bloom overnight. So Krishna is the greatest artist. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for coming here and giving us a chance to speak about the Supreme Artist. The Vedas describe how great an artist Krishna is. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate natat samas chapyadi drishyate. Nobody can be found who is greater than the Supreme Person of Godhead or equal to him. And although he is the greatest artist, he doesn't have to do anything personally. In this world, every one of us knows somebody lesser than us, somebody equal to us, and somebody greater than us. That is our experience. However great you may be, you will find somebody equal to you and somebody greater than you. But as far as the Supreme Person of Godhead is concerned, great sages have concluded by research and experiment that nobody is equal to him or greater than him. God is so great that he has nothing to do, no duties. He must perform. No duties he must perform. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. Why? Parasya shaktir vividaiva shruyate. His energies are multifarious and they are working automatically according to his desire. Svabhaviki jnana bala kriyacha. Suppose you are an artist. To paint a picture of a very nice rose, you have to take a brush, mix your colors on the palette, and tax your brain to make the picture beautiful. But in a garden, you can see not only one rose, but many thousands of roses blooming. They have been very artistically painted by nature. But we should go deeper into the matter. What is nature? Nature is working instrument. That's all, an energy. Without some energy working, how could the rose bloom so beautifully from the bud? Nature is a working instrument, yes. There must be some energy working, and that energy is Krishna, Krishna's energy. but it acts so subtly and swiftly that we cannot understand how it is working. The material energies seem to be working automatically, but actually there is a brain behind them. When you paint a picture, everyone can see that you are working. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, you can continue.
Similarly, the painting also work out by several energies. Don't think that the rose has been created automatically. No, nothing is created automatically. The rose is created out of the energies of the Supreme Lord. But these energies are so subtle and so artistic that the nice flower can bloom overnight. So Krishna is the greatest artist. Nowadays in the electronic age, a scientist just pushes a button and this machine works so perfectly. Or an airplane pilot simply pushes a button and a huge machine just like a small city flies in the sky. So if it is possible for ordinary men of this world to work so wonderfully simply by pushing some buttons, how much greater must be God's ability to work? How much more fertile his brain must be than ordinary artist or scientist's brains. Simply by his desire, let there be creation, everything is immediately manifest. So Krishna is the greatest artist. There is no limit to Krishna's artistic ability because Krishna is the seed of all creation. Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutanam. You have all seen a banyan tree. It grows from a small seed. This small seed has so much potency that if you sow it in a fertile place and water it, one day it will become a big banyan tree. Now, what are the potencies? What are the artistic and scientific arrangements within the small seed that allow it to grow into a big banyan tree? Also, on that banyan tree, there are many thousands of fruits, and within each fruit, there are thousands of seeds, and each seed contains the potency of another tree. So, where is the scientist who can create in that way? Where is the artist within this material world who can create a work of art as pleasing as a banyan tree? These inquiries should be made. The first aphorism of the Vedanta Sutra is Atato Brahma Jigyasa. In the human form of life, one should inquire about the absolute truth, so one should carefully study these questions. You cannot manufacture a machine that automatically grows into a big banyan tree. So don't you think there must be a big artistic brain, a great scientific brain behind nature? If you simply say nature is working, that is not a sufficient explanation. The second aphorism of the Vedanta Sutra is Janmadyasya Yataha. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.1. The absolute truth is he from whom everything is generated. We have to expand our vision from the small things to the great things. Now we become amazed when we see a small... Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Now we become amazed when we see a small Sputnik flying in the sky. It is flying toward the moon, and we are giving all credit to the scientists, and the scientists are challenging, what is God? Science is everything. But if you are intelligent, you will compare the Sputnik to the millions and trillions of planets and stars. Just on this tiny Earth planet, there are so many oceans, so many mountains, so many skyscrapers. But if you go above this planet a few million miles, it will look just like a small spot. You will see it as just a spot in the sky. And there are millions of planets floating in the sky like swabs of cotton. So if we give so much credit to the scientists who have manufactured a Sputnik, how much more credit we should give to the person who has manufactured this universal arrangement? This is Krishna consciousness, appreciating the greatest artist, the greatest scientist. We may appreciate so many artists, but unless we appreciate the greatest artist, Krishna, our life is wasted. We find that appreciation in the Brahma Samhita, the prayers of Lord Brahma, the creator of this universe. Find that, okay. In appreciation of Govinda, Krishna, he sings, Yasya Prabhavato Jagat Andakoti, Kotis Vashesha Vasudari Viphuti Pinnam, Tat Brahma Nishkalam Anantam Ashesha Bhutam, Govindam Adi Purusham Tam Aham Pachami. Now we are trying to understand the planetary system by our scientific method, but we have not been able to finish studying even the nearest planet, the moon, what to speak of the millions and billions of other planets. But from the Brahma Samhita, we get this knowledge. Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagad Anda Koti Kotishu. By the glaring effulgence emanating from Krishna's body, from Krishna's body, innumerable universes are created. We cannot study even one universe, but from the Brahma Samhita, we get information that there are innumerable universes and that in each and every universe, there are innumerable planets. Jagat Anda Koti Kotishu. Jagat Anda means universes and Koti Kotishu means innumerable. So there are innumerable universes with innumerable suns, innumerable moons, and innumerable planets. All of this is made possible by Krishna's bodily effulgence, which is called the Brahma Jyoti. Haribol, does anyone else want to continue? And sorry, I'm about my reading. It's like cuts off suddenly. My mind is getting, trying to interrupt me.
It's okay, Prabhu. Sujay, Prabhu, do you want to read next? Hare Krishna, I can read. The Gyanis, those who are trying to approach the absolute truth by mental speculation by dint of their tiny brain power, can at most approach this Brahmajyoti. But that Brahmajyoti is only the illumination of Krishna's body. The best analogy is the sunshine. The sunshine is coming from the sun glow. The sun is localized, and the effulgence of the sun, the sunshine, is distributed all over the universe. Just as the moon reflects the sunshine, the sun also reflects the Brahmajyoti, and that Brahmajyoti is the bodily effulgence of Krishna. So the greatest art is to understand Krishna. That is the greatest art. If we actually want to be an artist, we should try to understand or try to be intimately associated with the greatest artist, Krishna. For this purpose, we have established the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. The members of this society are trained to see in everything the display of Krishna's artistic sense. That is Krishna consciousness, to see the artistic hand of Krishna everywhere. In the Bhagavad Gita 10.8, Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. Whatever you see is an emanation from me. Everything is created out of my energy. One should understand this fact, that Krishna is the origin of everything. Lord Brahma confirms this in his Brahma Samhita 5.1. Ishvara Paramah Krishna. Krishna is the supreme controller. Here in this material world, we have experience of many controllers. Every one of us is a controller. You're a controller, I'm a controller. But above you, there is another controller, and above him, there's another controller, and so on. You may go on searching out controller after controller, and when you come to the supreme controller, he who is not controlled by anyone, but who controls everyone else, that is Krishna. This is our definition of God, the supreme controller. Nowadays, it has become a cheap business to see many gods, but you can test someone to see if he's God. If he's controlled by somebody else, he's not God. Only if he's the supreme controller should you accept him as God. That is the simple test for God. Now, another quality of God is that he is full of pleasure, Anandamayo Bhyasat. By nature, the Supreme Absolute Person is Anandamaya, full of pleasure. Suppose you are an artist. You engage in artistic work just to get some pleasure. By painting a picture, you enjoy some rasa, some pleasurable mellow. Otherwise, why would you work so hard? There must be some pleasure in the painting. So Krishna is Raso Vaisaha, the reservoir of all pleasurable mellows. He is Sachidananda Vigraha, full of eternity, knowledge, and pleasure. Ananda means pleasure. Ananda means pleasure. His pleasure potency is Srimati Radharani. You have seen pictures of Radha and Krishna. So Radharani is the manifestation of Krishna's pleasure potency. As I have already explained, Krishna has innumerable energies, and one of these is his pleasure potency, Radharani. So those who have developed love of God are enjoying transcendental pleasure at every moment by seeing the artistic work of Krishna everywhere. That is the position of a devotee. Therefore, we request everyone to become a devotee, to become Krishna conscious, so that you will see the artistic work of Krishna everywhere. Seeing Krishna everywhere is not difficult. For example, suppose you are thirsty and you drink some water. When you drink, you feel so much pleasure. And Krishna is the reservoir of all pleasure, Raso Vaisaha. So that pleasure you feel by drinking water, that is Krishna. Krishna states this in Bhagavad Gita 7:8. Rasoham apsu kaunteya, I am the taste of water. For an ordinary person who cannot fully appreciate Krishna, Krishna is giving the instruction that he is the taste of water that quenches your thirst. If you simply try to understand that this taste is Krishna or God, you become God conscious. So it is not very difficult to become Krishna conscious. You simply require a little training. And if you read Bhagavad Gita as it is, understanding it the way it is stated by Krishna himself, without any rascaldom or false interpretation, you will become Krishna conscious. And if you become Krishna conscious, your life is successful. You will return to Krishna. Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti Sarjuna. Bhagavad Gita 4:9. There is no loss in becoming Krishna conscious, but the gain is very great. Therefore, we request all of you to try to become Krishna conscious. Read Bhagavad Gita as it is. You will find all the information you need to become Krishna conscious. Or if you don't want to read Bhagavad Gita, please chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You will still become Krishna conscious. Thank you very much. Okay, Haribol. Hero Prabhu, you can start the next chapter.
Uh, 2.6 Absolute Love. All right, wait a moment. Everyone is frustrated. Husbands, wives, boys, girls. Everywhere there is frustration because our loving propensity is not being utilized properly. In this lecture given in Seattle, Washington in October of 1968, Srila Prabhupada reveals how we can achieve complete satisfaction by directing our love toward the Supreme Person. Om Akyana Timirandasya Kyananjana Salakaya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master. I'm sorry, oh no, okay. Spiritual master who has opened my eyes, which were blinded by the darkness of ignorance, with the torchlight of knowledge. Everyone in this material world is born into ignorance or darkness. Actually, the nature of this material world is that it is dark. It may be lighted with sunlight, moonlight, fire, or electricity, but its nature is dark. That is a scientific fact. So everyone born in this material world, from Brahma, chief personality, the topmost planet of this universe, down to the ant, is born into the darkness of ignorance. Now the Vedic injunction is Tamasima Jyotirgamaha. Don't remain in darkness, come to the light. And for this a spiritual master is needed. It is the duty of the spiritual master to open the eyes of the person in darkness with the torch of knowledge, and one should offer one's respectful obeisances unto such a spiritual master. People should not be kept in darkness, they should be brought into the light. Therefore, in every human society, there is a religious institution of some sort. What is the purpose of Hinduism, Mohammedanism, Christianity, or Buddhism? The purpose is to bring people to the light. That is the purpose of religion. What is that light? That light is the supreme personality of Godhead. The Srimad Bhagavatam states, Dharmam tu sakshat Bhagavat Pranitam. Srimad Bhagavatam 6.3.19. The goals of religion are directly given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the state, there are laws that you must follow. The head of the state gives some laws, and if you are a good citizen, you obey those laws and live peacefully. These laws may be different according to time, circumstances, or people. The state laws of India may not agree 100% with the laws of the United States, but in every state there are laws that you must obey. One has to abide by the law. One is considered the lowest in society, a criminal, and is subject to punishment. That is the general principle. Similarly, religion means to obey the laws of God. That's all. And if a human being does not obey the laws of God, he is no better than an animal. All scriptures, all religious principles are meant to elevate man from the animal platform to the human platform. Therefore, a person without religious principles, without God consciousness, is no better than an animal. That is the verdict of the Vedic literature. Ahara nitra bhaya maitunam ja samanyam etat pashupir naranam dharmo hitesam adiko vishesho dharmena hina pashupi samanaha. Eating, sleeping, sex, and defense. These four principles are common to both human beings and animals. The distinction between human life and animal life is that a man can search after God, but an animal cannot. That is the difference. Therefore, a man without that urge for searching after God is no better than an animal. Unfortunately, at the present moment, in every state and every society, people are trying to forget God. Some people publicly say there is no God, others say that if there is a God, he is dead, and so on. They have built, he is dead. Okay, sorry, that just sounds so stupid. They have built such a so called advanced civilization with so many skyscraper buildings, but they are forgetting that all of their advancement is dependent on God, on Krishna. This is a very precarious condition for the human society. There is a very nice story that describes what happens to a society that forgets the supreme personality of Godhead. Once a rat was being troubled by a cat. So the rat went to a saintly person who had mystic powers and said, My dear sir, I am very much troubled. What is the difficulty? The rat said, A cat always chases me, so I have no peace of mind. Then what do you want? Please make me into a cat. All right, become a cat. After a few days, the cat came to the saintly person and said, My dear sir, again I am in trouble. What is the trouble? The dogs are chasing me. Then what do you want? Make me a dog. All right, become a dog. Then after a few days, the dog came and said, Sir, again I am in trouble. What is the trouble? The foxes are chasing me. Then what do you want? To become a fox. All right, become a fox. Then the fox came and said, All tigers are chasing me. Then what do you want? I want to become a tiger. All right, become a tiger. Now the tiger began to stare at the saintly person. I shall eat you, the tiger said. Oh, you shall eat me. I have made you a tiger and you want to eat me. Yes, I am a tiger and now I shall eat you. All right. Then the saintly person cursed him. Again, become a rat. And the tiger became a rat. So our human civilization is like this. The other day I was reading the World Almanac. It is said that within the next 100 years, people will be living underground, like rats. Scientific advancement has created the atomic bomb to kill men, and when it will be used, people will have to go underground and become like rats. From tiger to rat, that is going to happen. It is nature's law. If you defy the laws of your state, you will be put into difficulty. Similarly, if you continue to defy the authority of the Supreme Lord, you will suffer. Will I continue on or?
Yes, Prabhu, you can continue.
Okay, again, you will become rats. As soon as the atomic bombs explode, all civilization on the surface of the globe will be finished. You may not like to think about these things. You may regard them as very unpalatable, but these are the facts. Satyam grihyat priyam grihyan ma priya satyam apriyam. It is a social convention that if you want to speak the truth, you should speak it very palatably. Okay, but we are not meant for social convention. We are preachers, servants of God, and we must speak the real truth, whether you like it or not. A godless civilization cannot be happy. That is a fact. So we have started the Krishna consciousness movement to awaken this godless civilization. Just try to love God. This is our simple request. You have love within you. You want to love somebody. A young boy tries to love a young girl. Young girl tries to love a young boy. This is natural because the loving propensity is within everybody. But we have created circumstances in which our love is being frustrated. Everyone is frustrated. Husbands, wives, boys, girls. Everywhere there is frustration because our loving propensity is not being utilized properly. Why? Because we have forgotten to love the supreme person. That is our disease. So the purpose of religion is to train people how to love God. That is the purpose of all religion. Whether your religion is Christianity or Hinduism or Mohammedanism, the purpose of your religion is to train you how to love God, because that is your constitutional position. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.6, it is said, Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adokshaye. Now, in English dictionaries, this word dharma is generally translated as religion, a kind of faith, but the actual meaning of dharma is essential characteristic. For example, sugar's dharma or essential characteristic is sweetness. If you are given some white powder and you find that it is not sweet, you will at once say, "Oh, this is not sugar. It is something else." So sweetness is the dharma of sugar. Similarly, salty taste is the dharma of salt, and pungency, okay, is the dharma of chili. Now, what is your essential characteristic? You are a living entity, and you have to understand your essential characteristic. That characteristic is your dharma, religion, not the Christian religion, the Hindu religion, this religion, that religion, your eternal essential characteristic. That is your religion. And what is that characteristic? Your essential characteristic is that you want to love somebody and therefore you want to serve him. That is your essential characteristic. You love your family, you love your society, you love your community, you love your country. Because you love them, you want to serve them. That tendency to engage in loving service is your essential characteristic, your dharma. Whether you are a Christian, a Mohammedan, or a Hindu, this characteristic will remain. Suppose today you are a Christian. Tomorrow you may become a Hindu, but your serving mood, that loving spirit, will stay with you. Therefore, the tendency to love and serve others is your dharma or your religion. This is the universal form of religion. Now you have to apply your loving service in such a way that you will be completely satisfied. Because your loving spirit is now misplaced, you are not happy, you are frustrated and confused. The Srimad Bhagavatam tells us how to apply our spirit of loving devotion perfectly. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adokshaye ahaitukya pratihata jayatma suprasidati. That religion is first class, which trains you to love God, and by this religion you will become completely satisfied. If you develop your love of God to the fullest extent, you will become a perfect person. You will feel perfection within yourself. You are hankering after satisfaction, full satisfaction, but that full satisfaction can be obtained only when you love God. Loving God is the natural function of every living entity. It doesn't matter whether you are a Christian or a Hindu or a Muhammad. I don't know how to pronounce Mohammedan. Just try to develop your love of God. Then your religion is very nice. Otherwise, it is simply a waste of time. Shrama eva hi kevalam. If after executing rituals in a particular type of religion throughout your whole life you have no love for God, well, then you have simply wasted your time. The Krishna consciousness movement is the postgraduate movement of all kinds of religion. We are inviting all Christians, Muslims, and Hindus, everyone to please come associate with us and try to love God. Oh, sorry. And the method is very simple. Just chant his holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All my students are Americans and they have come from either Christian or Jewish families. None of them have come from Hindu families. So the process I have given them, the process of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, is universal. It is not Hindu or Indian. The Sanskrit word mantra is a combination of two syllables, man and tra. Man means mind and tra means deliverance. Therefore, a mantra is that which delivers you from mental concoction, from hovering on the mental plane. So if you chant this mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, very soon you will find that you are coming from the darkness to the light. I do not wish to take much of your time, but I simply want to impress upon you the importance of chanting Hare Krishna. Try an experiment. Chant Hare Krishna for 1 week and see how much spiritual progress you make. We don't charge anything, so there is no loss. But there is great profit that is guaranteed. Therefore, please chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much.
Haribol, thank you so much, Prabhu. Okay, now let's go to 6 Astakam pairs. Cheto darpanamarjanam pavamahadavagninirvapanam shreyah kairava chandrika vitaranam vityavadu jivanam anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamritasvadanam sarvatmasnapanam param vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam.
Nam akari pahudani ja sarva shaktis tatrarpitani yamitas maranena kala etar riitava kripa bhagavan mamapi durdaivam idrisham yajani nanu ragaha.
Rinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna manina manadena kirtaniya sadahari.
Najanam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishware pavatat bhaktir haitu ki tvaye.
Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam pudau kripaya tava pada pankaja stita duri sadarsam vichintaya.
Ayanam galadashrutaraya vadanam katkara rutaya gira pulakarnichitam vapukada tavanama grahane pavishyati.
Yugaitam nimeshena chakshusha pravirsyaitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me.
Ashlishyava padaratam pinastumam adarshanan marma hatam karotu va yata tata vavidata tulampato mat prananatas eva naparaha.
Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names. but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth.
O son of Maharaj Nanda, Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet.
O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love, flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name?
O Govinda, feeling your separations, I'm considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna is my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally.
Hari Bol, Shri Sixastakam ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan
Jai,
jai, Panchatattva ki jai,
Jai,
Nityananda Prabhu ki
Jai,
jai, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Jagat
Jai,
Bhaktivedanta Swami Shila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura,
Jai,
Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.